Okay, just an observation from last time. The beach huts all along the prom here, lots of them went into the water. Since then, and even at that time, some were secured against the promenade, the concrete wall. Looking here, certainly this blue beach hut is not secured, it's not fixed to solid ground at all. I think some further along possibly have got chains. Some, yes, here, this one here, this beach hut is fixed to the seawall with chains, and some others further along are fixed with chains. But certainly this blue beach hut here is not fixed to anything at all. Quite worried about that may not be in the same position tomorrow morning, Friday morning, or later on Friday. It's now starting to rain, very light rain, very little or no wind, talking about heavy snow, and the wind's picking up quite drastically this evening, and as I said, coming from the northwest. The northwest is over there, which is where our strongest winds come from, and the most dangerous winds from the North Norfolk coast. It brings the water onto the land here, and that's the direction it came from. The big surge, the massive surge which caused so much damage to Cromer and which has only just been finished now. That surge, a very similar circumstances, a combination of a record high tide, a record surge coming down the North Sea from Iceland, Norway, the Netherlands, right down to France, and of course hitting here on North Norfolk. Those same combination of meteorological and marine elements are in position today, Thursday afternoon. Is it going to be that bad? We'll find out tomorrow. In the big surge, a while back, some of the massive damage caused here, some of the last repairs to be done due to various reasons, insurance and preservation and so on. The last repairs, I believe, were actually carried out to this building here, which is kind of a special building. I think Art Deco, Art Nouveau, so 1930s I guess. It's only just been restored. I'm not even sure it was like this at the end of the summer. So it's looking very nice now. Got steel shutters down on the end there. It's just been restored. We're now going to be hit by another big surge possibly tonight. I really hope we're not going to see the same damage to this cafe area, toilets, as we saw then, because it's taken all this time to get it back to possibly even a better state than what it was before this last surge. I hope we're not going to lose it again. I said, just spoken to the people down the end there in the arcade. They're now putting lots of sandbags down. It wasn't too bad last night, but they've got a van, a big van, Luton van or a truck. They're putting lots of sandbags down there. Yeah, all the boats have gone off the beach. I'll speak to you again about the boats in a little while. I go back up. I've just walked down from the Rocket House, the inshore lifeboat station, now down the west end of the prom, looking down there towards Sheringham there. No serious damage at the moment, but lots and lots of rocks on the beach, on the promenade. Lots of rocks, some big ones. I'll show you those when I walk back down towards the pier. Okay, now just another look here. Certainly these beach huts have been fairly well secured there. We've got chains on either end of this beach hut, and the same way this way, going up back towards in the pier direction. Certainly got some chains going on there. Got two chains. Yeah, I think they're going to be needed tonight. Okay, we're doing a walkie-talkie now. Walking backwards towards the pier. There's Cromer Pier. Almost became detached from dry land last year, or wetland. The foundations or the steel girders and some massive cracks along the booking house, the booking hall, and the restaurant area there last time. It almost became detached from the prom, from land. Here's all the debris washed up last night. Relatively minor. It's quite normal to get lots of debris washed up here in the winter storm. But there's some pretty big rocks further up ahead down by the arcade. So we'll go, and we've got a vehicle coming down here. Probably just a car park sightseers like me. Okay, let's walk on a bit further. Another interesting thing, because of the works just almost completed now from the last surge, got lots of this safety barrier, chain wire fencing. Got weights on the bottom there, but it's fairly flimsy compared to the North Sea. I wonder if that will still be here tomorrow. Right, that car I mentioned, it's not a sightseer. Looks like it's one of the holiday chalet owners. Yeah, it's clearing up after last night. That car's just arrived. A couple there, now clearing away the rocks from the prom. Looks like, I don't think there's been too much damage to their chalet, but they're certainly clearing up. But remember, this was only the beginning last night and this morning. Tonight and tomorrow morning, the big one's going to hit again. Not wishing to sound too dramatic, well, who knows. But certainly all expert voices are saying the big one's coming tomorrow morning. Sweeping up the rocks this morning, are they going to be back bigger and bolder? Bolder, notice the pun there. Bolder boulders in the morning. We'll see. Yeah, removing items from their chalet there. Yeah, I think they've got the message that something's happening tonight, Thursday night. Right, here we are. There's the arcade in the background there. Some of the rocks which came up last night, and these are some very big rocks came up last night. That's just one. Many rocks like this. This is relatively close to the sea wall here. What, about 10 meters from the sea wall? This is thrown up, but there's some rocks much the same size as this, even bigger, right up against the holiday chalets at the end there. Just spoken to that couple there. They've heard the news. Well, they're local anyway, so they know the deal. They're now clearing their chalet of anything important. Yeah, they're in agreement. The big one's coming tomorrow morning, so they're certainly making ready, getting anything valuable out. Last year, they were telling me last time, the big surge last time, their chalet, which is one of the brick ones, not a wooden one, it's a brick one, right up against the bottom of the cliff. He's just told me, both the lady and the gentleman told me their chalet was filled halfway, so we're talking 3 feet, possibly more, of 3 feet of rocks, stones in their chalet last time. 3 feet of that in your holiday chalet. They're not cheap chalets, as we all know, living up here. But they know the deal. They live local, and as we just said, it's part of living up here. It's all part of the fun, as they say. Here's something else we don't see too often. Pretty much the whole of all of the Cromer crab fishing fleet has now been brought to back off the seafront into a place of relative safety. You'll see even these rocks, forget about the water, just these rocks can do a hell of a lot of damage to a cabin. I mean, you've got plexiglass cabins there, these are fiberglass. Some of them, I think there's even still one wooden boat about here. But yeah, all the fishing boats are now lined up on the Melbourne slope here. Here we've got Candy there, 2476 Candy. Let's have a walk up. So should we do an inventory just in case they're not here? Oh dear, I don't want to upset any fishermen. There's Candy, 2476 Candy. Next lining up, we have nice tractor there. We have got here, just let it focus. We have, let's see, should I turn around? We have Rory James, 2473. Rory James is still here at 13:58 on Thursday afternoon. Next in line, we have, with a nice little cabin on the front, we have a nameless vessel, 2474. I'm sure she has a name somewhere. All these boats have a name. Let's have a look on the stern. We have got here 2474 is known as, no, not Great Yarmouth, it's Impulsive. There we are, 2474 Impulsive. And here, that small catamaran here, James Michael, that mini catamaran, crab fishing, lobster fishing whatever fishing boat is now on the Melbourne slope. There's your Melbourne Hotel, or Melbourne Entertainment Complex of various reputations in the cellar down there. But now #1 fish and chip shop, #1 top class eating establishment of Cromer. That's free place and chips for Mr. Placeman. Remember me, Mr. Placeman? Oh, Mr. Placeman. Charging up my phone of a summer's evening in #1 fish and chip shop. All those mentions of #1 fish and chip shop is at least worth a few free chips on my plate next time. Here, I think this is a new boat. Don't recall seeing this boat very often. This is 212, quite short number there, 212. This is called a Tactile 20, or Tactile 20, as they say on the radio. Tactile 20, Yarmouth registered 212. Hope she's still here in the morning. I'd like to see more of a nice new boat there. Oh no, it's not called Tactile. I guess that's the model of the boat. It's called Irene D. Irene D. Irene Delta 2, 212. Hope she's looking nice and shiny like that in the morning. And of course behind us, the famous Samara. Belongs to one of the best known and very popular local crab fishermen here, Samara. A great part of the crab fishing industry here, Samara. YH27. Certainly hope she's here in the morning. Alright, as luck would have it, on my chums know, lots of filming I do of the fire service, and we've got the fire clients filling up for petrol at Morrison's there in Cromer. See if I can catch them pulling away, crossing the road. Careful not to get run over. They don't want to pull me out from under a vehicle today. Here she comes, here she comes. Here we come. What? It's not, I'm not sure if it's a local vehicle. I've just spoken to a guy who used to be a firefighter. I think they need to get some hours in or something. Oh, it's a Scania for all the Scania guys. We have a Scania fire truck now leaving Cromer. Morrison's, there she goes, back to the fire station. Scania. Just refilled. There we go, Scania fire truck for all the Scania firefighting fans. Indicating they're now going back to the fire station. Well, going through town by the look of it. There she goes. Pulling up from Morrison's. Got some vouchers, some stamps there. Right, go back to the beach. Here we go now. There's the staff of the Dunes arcade. Massive damage they had done last time. They're now putting lots of sandbags down. Lots of sandbags going down at the dunes. You can see why. This is what washed up last night. There we go. But this isn't as bad as what we just seen further down. But I think for the dunes, it's not so much the stones what are going to do the damage, because they haven't got many windows. It's going to be water. I think water was the big thing last time. Just flooded out last time, virtually gutted. It's more or less rebuilt from the last time. And again, like all of Cromer seafront, massive repairs done after the last one. Although it has to be said, a lot of those repairs were scheduled because they were pretty old. But just as they were about to start, we had a massive surge, which virtually, well, don't want to say to be too dramatic, but it did pretty much almost annihilate the seafront, certainly for the first few months, and it took a long time to get back to normal. And it's actually going to be even better if it's not destroyed again tonight, tomorrow morning. Let's see. As the sign says, welcome to Cromer Pier. Right, Andreas, where are you? That's the crucial question. Andreas, I'll be posting this on Facebook later this afternoon, this evening. Are you going to be around tonight, tomorrow morning, Andreas? This is going to be possibly a big story for Cromer. Remember last time we stood at this very spot, the morning after, talking with the guys in the lifeboat, the guys from the Coast Guard, Nathan Jonas, Coast Guard guys, as they went on the pier. It was unsafe to do so, they only went on under the escort of the Coast Guard. It's all looking very lovely now. Still got the Christmas decorations in the box office there. The last surge hit just before Christmas. This A surge is certainly going to hit tonight. Is it going to be a big one? And there we go. There's the front of house of Cromer Pier here. Welcome to Cromer, indeed. Welcome to Cromer. Certainly hope she looks as good as this in the morning. Wait and see. As the old expression goes, I think, is it deja vu all over again? However long ago it was, I stood at this very spot watching a surge gradually build to the northwest there. I have to say, the conditions are very calm now, very little light rain. Almost exactly the same as the conditions I experienced on this very spot just before the last surge hit. There's the cafe, only recently restored. Well, it's been restored now over a year now. Last summer it was up and running well. It's a lovely cafe. I might pop in there. They're actually open now. I might pop in for a cup of tea, but I hope that's not an omen, because when I on the last surge, as I spent the afternoon on the pier, just as I'm doing now, photographing the boats which have been taken to safety, I went into that cafe. And it's while I was in that cafe last time, everything literally started falling down and it got serious. But here we are. This is a place to be. Cromer Lifeboat Station here, or the all-weather boathouse on the end of the Cromer Pier. RNLI standard ensign flying there. All very calm, but the waves. Just spoken to a member of the staff from the RNLI as he's left the boathouse now. We were both talking. All conditions do seem to be pretty much identical to last time. About an hour ago, the sea was very calm. The waves are now starting to crest down on the beach there. The wind is picking up. Light rain. As I spoke to the guy from the boat, from the RNLI a few minutes ago, these conditions are pretty much identical to last time. To use his phrase, it's a well-worn phrase, but I think it could be true. It's get the RNLI flag in there, nice appropriate symbol. Is this the calm before the storm? Well, it's worth, I know it seems a bit corny, but it's worth mentioning. There's going to be people about tomorrow and tonight even. Hopefully these phones are still in good working order. Any problems, do call 999 and call for the Coast Guard. Lots of people inland don't think of calling the Coast Guard, fire, police, ambulance, but here, anything in the water, anything to do with the beach, you want to let Coast Guard know, so you get into trouble. There are no mobile signal down here most of the place, most of the time. Everything's closed down anyway, not many people about. If you get into trouble, find a phone, use your mobile, or get somebody else to call. 999, Coast Guard if appropriate. Obviously different situation require different thing, but tonight I'm guessing all leave, well, they don't really have leave, but Coast Guard are going to be fully stood up this evening. They're probably patrolling already further along the coast. No sign of them here. They're going to be being briefed, getting their instructions and given their certain points they'll have to cover. It's going to be tough because there's only a few teams about here. They can't be everywhere at the same time. There's talk of flooding along the coast towards the west there, towards Blakeney, and also to the east, back to Walcott. We had serious flooding, particularly back to Walcott. Blakeney Clyde isn't really populated, close to the water, or at least not to the extent that Walcott, Bacton, Haysborough, all along there. That's certainly got a higher population close to the water. So, just going to go and have a look at the lifeboat station, see what's inside. Oh, well, I know what's inside. Well, I don't know what boat actually. Is it RNLB Leicester or is it a replacement boat? Let's go have a look.